Thank you for the opportunity to address not just my people in New Ireland province, but the country, in relation to the turn of events that has taken place here at the New Ireland Provincial Assembly in the past few days, or last week I should say. And I would like to clear the air on some of those issues that we experienced, so everybody can have a better understanding and appreciation of what transpired and why it happened that way. So, thank you. Maybe Dr. Pas start that we got letter here from the Secretary of the Department of Provincial Local Level Government Affairs. Firstly, he highlighting, right, specifically in the laws, the provision that governs such outcomes, that the appointment of Honourable Sammy Missen as the acting governor, or even the acting chairman of the Provincial Executive Council, is against the law. There is no provision within the law that allows PEC to appoint a governor or an acting governor or an acting chairman of PEC. Very clear, very explicit. In relation to the PEC meeting that was held in Moresby prior to the Assembly meeting, that was also illegal, because any PEC meeting outside of the province will require the Minister for Intergovernment Relations to endorse, right, for you to have a Provincial Executive Council meeting outside of the province. Now, the department has no knowledge of the meeting of the New Ireland province PEC in Moresby some 2 weeks ago. So that was illegal, which means that all the resolutions that they have made during that meeting in Moresby has no authority, basically. Right? They're all illegal decisions. In addition to that, this letter also states that on the 26th of March 2025 was going to be the Provincial Assembly meeting. And it's important that the Provincial Assembly meeting sits, because in the provision of the law, or the organic law, you have to have a Provincial Assembly meeting within 3 months from a vacancy declared. Right? So in other words, we cannot wait 6 months, we cannot wait 9 months. We've got to do it within the first 3 months of the Assembly meeting, after a person, or in this case our late governor, passed. Right? So we couldn't defer the Assembly meeting again. It was this Assembly meeting on the 26th that had to now conduct the election of a new governor to replace late Sir Julius Chen, who created a vacancy because of his passing. Now, there's a lot of confusion about, who's right and who's wrong. I am purely talking about the law that governs the process and procedures that we have to follow to fill the vacancy of governor, where I don't think a lot of people appreciate and understand. So this is the letter that indicates or pretty much confirms what needs to happen and what measures, process and procedures that one needs to undertake to fill in the vacancy of the governor. After that, there's another letter again from the Chief Secretary of, or the Office of the Secretary of Department of Provincial Local Level Government that confirms, right, that the four chief representative in the Provincial Assembly, there is no records of their declaration to actually be members of the Provincial Assembly. And this is why I raised a a point of order, if you can recall, to bring to the chairman's attention that we have strangers in the house. And I didn't say that because I wanted to politicize the issue. I said that because I got a letter confirmed by the department that they have no record at all of the 4 chief representatives in the Provincial Assembly. Now, they also went ahead and confirmed that there is no records in the department in Waigani, and also after a search and query here in New Ireland of the same documents, there was nothing in New Ireland that they can produce as well. So if there's nothing in the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs office, and there's nothing here at the New Ireland Administration headquarters, then obviously they've never been appointed at all officially or sworn in to be members of the Provincial Assembly. And for that reason, I raised the point of order to seek clarity, and clarity was given through an adjournment of the Provincial Assembly meeting that the chairman decided on, to adjourn to seek further legal clarification on my point of order. And during that meeting, he was advised legally that there is no record and you cannot allow the provincial appointed chief representative in the Provincial Assembly to sit in the actual meeting. Now, the chairman, after getting all the legal advice, right, walked out this door and refused to adhere to the advice he got. On his own accord, refused. So when he went and reconvened the assembly session on the 26th, right, he then adjourned the meeting, didn't explain himself, he adjourned the meeting to the following day, the 27th, citing that he needs more time to get more legal advice on the 4 appointments of the chief representative in the assembly. I don't know what more advice he needs when you had the 2 king councils here in a meeting with him, breaking it down very clearly for him, right? The laws, the procedures that he has to follow. And the chairman, Honorable Sammy Missen, deliberately ignored all the advice and went ahead and adjourned the meeting on his own accord. So the following day, I requested through the State Solicitor's Office a quick advice on the interpretation of the law that's on foot. I got a letter here, okay? And this letter is dated on the 22nd, all right? And the letter is very explicit from the State Solicitor's Office, all right, giving us a clear interpretation of what the organic law stipulates and how we, the Provincial Assembly, have to follow. So he says here in his letter that Section 21(1) of the organic law states that 1, subject to subsection 3, if the provincial governor vacates his office in accordance with Section 19(1) or is dismissed from office in accordance with Section 20, the Provincial Assembly shall, from amongst the members of the provincial of the Assembly who are members of Parliament, elect provincial governor. So that's very clear, which means if you're not a member of Parliament, then you cannot contest. If you're not a member of Parliament, you cannot contest. Here we are hearing that the Honourable President, Sammy Missen, had intention to contest, to be the governor, contest the vacancy, all right? And the law is very clear. Once there is a member of parliament that puts his hand up and is available, he then becomes eligible, right, to be a nominee for the vacancy. And only other members of parliament can contest that seat against him. Okay? Not LLG presidents. So this is not like another election, all right, per se, where you go out to the general public and everybody can be a candidate. That's not what the organic law says, right? The organic law says a member of parliament has the first choice, all right? Now, if both myself and the honourable member for Kagan, Minister for Treasury, if we choose to stay with our ministry, right, and didn't avail ourselves for the vacancy, then it goes down to the LLG presidents to contest among themselves, so they can appoint someone among them, right, to fill in the vacancy as governor. But none of the LLG presidents, by law, is eligible to contest with or against a member of parliament. That is very clear. Right? Very, very clear. All right? So, me not think Honorable Sammy Missen, ikila gutru lo organic law. Lo disala. There was any clear. Right? And by Sawi Olsen, even there was any god like lo pulmapim vacancy lo governor, he's not eligible until all members of parliament actually refuse. Okay, now you go down to LLG now, you now put your hand you go on top. But there was one member of parliament, you put your hand on top. Sorry, you not contest on them, because you know general election. You think and vacancy lo governorship, where the process and procedure is the provincial assembly. General election where you any kind of man marry, you put your hand you go on top. No hand. And law am very clear. Okay. Now let me like talk sen. Why na law talk sen? Because law am clear. You mean need lo harap lo pulma bin vacancy now lo governor. So governor now am responsible now lo look long by election. Look long all not the responsibility. Clear na start discussing now na in consultation to try and bring a by-election quickly. So a by-election can be held and everybody can then contest, right? And then the winner of that by-election is declared. Then when the winner is declared and sworn on oath his declaration to serve the country, then it's at that point that my position, I have to automatically vacate and allow the incoming governor to take my place. And I cannot continue at that point in time. But that can only happen if a by-election is conducted and a member a regional member is declared during the by-election. So that's why Plani Luyimi no understand. Plani Luyimi talk sem. Why na yumi no na go straight go by-election? Well, you know na go straight by-election because you know that governor staff long conducting discussions on the electoral commission lo determining one day this by-election by come up na one kind funding by required this la. Because suppose me put him now, Honorable Sammy Missen he go inside, then Honorable Sammy Missen won't have the authority to sign any approvals of any funding to any by-elections at all. None. Because I'm LLG president also. I'm no member of parliament. Alright? You need to understand in this. Alright? And I think plenty little money talk nothing. Ask him lo by-election he come. Sorry, you no not holding by-election without the vacancy lo governor's position have to be filled in first. And then after that, you start talking about your by-elections. Okay, so many of us are confused. Many of us don't try to appreciate enough to read the organic law, process and procedures of the organic law, and the standing order that is the actual instrument to carry out the organic law. Plani lo imi no appreciate na imi woki mo kain tok where plani lo tok lo imi no got based lo argument lo tok lo imi. And unfortunately, it's only political rhetoric that I will just put it down to. You talk nothing that's all political. You not talk want them common sense. You not talk want them law where you yet you appreciate it na you talk. All right, so time kisim interpretation now long State Solicitor's Office is very clear, and this is why me yet also Minister long Transport and Civil Aviation me got copy lo here letter below me when I resigned as Minister, acknowledged by the Office of the Prime Minister. So as soon as the Prime Minister acknowledged my resignation as Minister for Transport and Civil Aviation, I automatically became eligible to contest in the Provincial Assembly the vacancy of the governorship. All right? Lloyd talk, because I cannot be a minister and a governor at the same time. All right? So I had to relinquish the ministry, which I did, and made myself available to be a nominee in the Provincial Assembly to fill in the vacancy. Now, why did I do that? Because me looking finish lo pore. LG election is only 4 weeks away. All the provincial members that are presidents right now, right, will be ordinary citizens when the writs are issued. Every one of them now have to go back and contest the election and win and come back. So who's going to run the province in that time? Even suppose me play at Tintin Law supporting Honorable Sammy Missen to be the acting governor and appointed him. Well, sorry, he's going to only be in office for 3 weeks. So what does it mean at that point in time? That all of New Ireland province just goes to a standstill? No more operation, no nothing? Because you know that head blow, province is start blow, continue want them programs and projects within the province? Sorry, as a responsible leader, seeing all this before me, I couldn't. I couldn't just say, oh, I'm alright, me stop as a minister because all get a privilege, all get something stop me around, me walk, kilang be me lose tintilo province for me. No, I put my hand up because when I swore on oath, I swore on oath to serve my people. And when my people now are in such a circumstance where there's no leadership, all right, I should not put Walter Schnaubelt first. I should put New Ireland province first. And that's what I did, and that's why I did what I thought. This is not about Walter Schnaubelt wanting to be governor or interest of Walter Schnaubelt. No. Understand the law, appreciate the circumstances that are going to happen, anticipate them, and as a responsible leader, put yourself in a responsible position to put the interests of New Ireland first. And I think that's what I did. And that's why I resigned. And can I say this also? Can I say this as well? I think, now, I don't want to brag, me no like little mabimiyet or kind something or something, but me like stating good, you will get a lot understanding. When you're a governor, you shall resign as a governor, lo come up minister. No kan man is a resign as a minister, lo come up governor. This may be the first time in history since independent you may have a minister and me resign as a minister na I come down you go lo governor. Tingin, minister you governor, minister antap governor na below. You clear? Yes, okay, greater responsibility. You clear? But in terms of responsibility, one holds the responsibility of the state, the country, and the other just for the province. And we got 22 provinces. So me resign, to put in interest of New Ireland, it will pass. And now me feel also, it's unfair. People making statement, blaming me as I'm power hungry now. Me liking this la, me liking this la because me selfish. Sorry, I am not selfish. I see New Ireland entering a huge void of leadership. Right? And how can I just sit back na larin sila something, it transpire na mino? How? As a responsible leader, I need to step up. I can't put my interest law, holy ministry, before my people of New Ireland. Well, not Walter Schnaubelt anyway. For the sole purpose, like I said, I put my hand up to represent the people in the first place. So now people blow me needing me. Alright, me need lo move. Me need lo come back, lo help one. And like I said, the whole purpose of this decision is to now come in, stabilize New Ireland provincial government, and then start talking about by-election, and then support the by-election now, not just in terms of consultation with the electoral office, but also look at what budget allocation is required to conduct the election as well to support the electoral commission office. So, and several major reasons blame me or blow me yet instead of blame me. So come back in lo provincial assembly now. Number 3 day. Or say number 2 day. Number 2 day we came in on the 27th. All right. All of the legal advice was given already to Honorable Sammy Missen to come in and conduct the election. Now, this is the agenda paper blood, the business order of business blood this day. And it states here that you may need law declaring mo sa miga vacancy lo governorship na mibla mas going sa long election lo makim one plan new plan governor in accordance to the organic law. Now, he didn't do that in the first day. He adjourned. The second day he came in, he didn't conduct that either. And we cannot adjourn him meeting against the directive that he's already received as chairman. You must hold him this meeting. You don't have can abrusin. You must hold him this meeting, and you gotta make sure the law at that point in time is carried out. And you're chairman. That's your responsibility. Now, time directive law, minister of law, intergovernment relations, you give directive long in because power belong all get the provincial assembly stop underneath the minister of law, intergovernment relations. All right, that's what a lot of people don't understand either. You know NEC and minister of law, intergovernment relations, and bossman law, all get the assembly. Now, the other thing that we need to understand as well is this. We were, as New Ireland, we were this close, very close, to have been shut down as a government. We were this close because some people just didn't want to adhere to the law. Nor get the advice and make it. And who has the authority to shut down the provincial government? Is the Minister for Intergovernment Relations. Now, if we couldn't conduct it ourselves professionally and accordingly to law and continue adjourning provincial assembly meetings, na pinisi mo the agenda of the day or order of business of the day, then obviously I'm indicating that you're trying to circumvent the law, lo putin interest will go pass, which means if now the minister knows about your intent, na biyan directive long he will issue a directive to shut down the provincial government. Now, is that really what we want? No, I don't think so, because bringing the provincial government back up to functioning properly again, it's going to take some time. And we don't know how long that's going to take. Now, Honorable Sammy doesn't realize that he continue prolonging the adjournment law of provincial assembly. He's actually inviting a directive from the Minister of Intergovernment Relations to shut down the government, the New Ireland provincial government. Because he no look more money like the law, so he needs to shut it down now to fix it. And reopen it again will be another hassle again. So me looking this, let me talk. No, we can't have one person. We can't have Honorable Sammy Missen holding the rest of the province at ransom. Sorry, cannot. So I seek further legal interpretation, more legal opinion on the process and the procedures, and there was one. There was one. And the one that the minister himself have actually decided upon based on the advice that he received, okay, and that was, okay, since the chairman, Honorable Sammy Missen, no like behind directive, lo minister, to hold the meetings and to conduct the order of business for that day, especially on the election on the governor vacancy. You with me? Then, after giving him 2 days to do that, and he has failed, all right, the minister gave directive to the PA, the provincial administrator, all right, for the clerk to then become chairman, which is within law, and for the clerk to now reconvene the assembly meeting and conduct the election of the governor. Now, there was no adjournment. There was no adjournment, or the adjournment didn't have authority to adjourn, because you were under the directive of the minister to conduct the election on the vacancy of governor. As your first order of business, you cannot avoid it. It has to be done in the first quarter of meeting, straight after the vacancy has been created through late Sir Julius Jan's passing. So, you like Sunu Kimiken go to 6 months under authority of law. And not only that, are you going to be here in 6 months' time? There's no guarantee you're going to go to the election and come back as a president. There's no guarantee. So what happens to New Ireland province in the meantime? Sorry, I will say this. This is a selfish, self-centered attitude that New Ireland province do not need. We need leaders. We need leaders who put New Ireland interests first, not leaders who put their interests first. And because of this, there was further directive from the minister instructing the PA to then instruct the clerk of the assembly. The clerk of the assembly comes under the provincial administrator. Okay? So the provincial administrator was then instructed to get his clerk to convene the meeting. Because why? Honorable Sammy Missen now, becoming BCAT now, refused to attend the meetings. So the question is, what is Honorable Sammy Missen hiding, or what's his true agenda if he doesn't want to comply with law? I'm asking law. You know that interest law, put him interest law in New Ireland will pass. So it's a sad scenario, a sad case that we've just experienced, and I had to dig deep together with the Minister for KVN, a Minister for Treasury, member for KVN, all right, to support the legal process and procedures to make sure that they are carried out accordingly. Ino interest lo imi tupla, but the law to be carried out accordingly. And that's what we achieved on that day. So now mihari mo sem Honorable Sammy Missen, emi tokol sem emi legal meeting. No, it wasn't. It wasn't an illegal meeting. It was a legal meeting. Why? Because you failed to show up when you were directed to show up. You failed. And you didn't only fail you as a president, but you also failed the people of New Ireland. By deliberately abstaining the provincial assembly meeting. So you are yourself to blame and not anybody else. Not asking me. Honorable Sammy Missen, and told Sir Deputy Governor. If there's a vacancy, lo Governor, you deputy blusa. You deputy blusa. You're only a deputy when you have someone that is above you. In this case, a governor. Now, since we don't have a governor, you deputy blusa. You can only be a deputy if there's a governor in place. You cannot go around calling yourself and acting like you're a deputy governor when you don't have a governor in place. Please, we've got to stop this silliness or this blatant abuse, self-interest, or blatant abuse, side of law, because self-interest is taking over. We've got to stop. So now, Mr. Napoli here, and now me ask him now, Honorable Sammy Missen. I now have been appointed legitimately as the governor of New Ireland province through the the process of law within the Provincial Assembly, where I had 8 presidents, mandated leaders, 8, all supporting my appointment, which is the majority. May I ask him now? Honorable Sammy Missen, now that there is a governor, do you want to be my deputy? If you want to be my deputy, I'll give you 48 hours to come and declare yourself now. Na position believe. Mi mangin nyo island. Pasin custom, pasin luksawe, pasin lo soril narbe, ista. But sorry, I have a province to run, so I cannot give you 7 days. You have 48 hours, you have 2 days to come and see me and declare your position if you still want to be Deputy Governor of New Ireland Province. So by Wednesday, 4:06 in the afternoon, if I don't see you between now and 4:06 on Wednesday, this Wednesday, I believe the date would be the 2nd of April. If I don't see you by 4:06 on the 2nd of April, that is 48 hours from now, I will then proceed to make my own decision and appoint my own deputy governor in my new administration. All right? So, this I extend to you, Honorable Sammy Missen. Let's put politics aside and let's put the interests of New Ireland first. 48 hours, 2nd of April, 4:06, Milay Lukim Yu, Ekam, and declaring position. So normalcy can continue. Now, from Wednesday, the 2nd of April, if Honorable Sammy Missen does not declare his position in terms of what I have offered to him, okay, I will proceed without him and appoint my own deputy governor, and I will then follow due process to achieve that. Not a shortcut process, a due process. Right? Which means I have to now recall the assembly meeting, right? And in that meeting, make all commissioning and decommissioning exercise to be officially endorsed. So this is where we are now. Walter Schnaubelt did not break any law. If there was anything, I actually defended the law. And if there's anything, I actually prevented the New Ireland provincial government from shutting down by the Minister of Interrelations, Government of Interrelations Government. You with me? So I've actually worked in this law. Minulay lite mapi miye, but me looking interest in New Ireland, you must go past. Na mi pala leaders usate mi stable leadership role, must put in interest in New Ireland mi go past. So this law is important, something no go through. So, and let me say this, I am not here for Walter Schnaubelt. I'm here for the people of New Ireland. Alright? And please, I hope everybody understands this now, and I've made myself very clear. Okay? Now, please, you may not wasting time no talk na try na interpreting law, na putting all kind to me go inside, and then continue not only confusing yourself, but confusing others around you, because you have no appreciation or comprehension of the law that you're talking about. So I'm that's all me like talk longen. Lo clarify me all kita. And I ask please everybody and New Islanders, you milari now, decision blow assembly, even come up lo Friday 28, lo moon March, you may accept into sole decision now. Palimhan lo Walter Schnaubelt, usat emi now, not acting governor, M governor. Alright, M governor. Why M governor? Because M member of the parliament. And we give him 16,000, 17,000 votes. Lo namatanay. Where we qualify him. Compare lo Honorable Sammy Missen and we kisamas. Lo vote that's all, 100. If that. No, Sam. Let's put it in, in line. You with me? So, that's why the organic law is trumay toktok stem. You clear? So, I look forward holding this this position, and I look forward working with the people of New Ireland. Lo bringing new sinis, lo side lo delivery, lo mipla inside lo here lo New Ireland. We like now give opportunity lo town mayor, Sammy Missen ante me, lo appoint me as governor, Friday 28th of March. Now me like give me opportunity lo talk to the side to me.
People of New Ireland, people of New Ireland, Papua New Guinea, na Papua New Guinea get got chance long, aring formation long, government long New Ireland. Got plenty controversies, confusions even come up, but me like talk also member assisting the governor on political matters. Starting lobbying time come up when we appointed. We like talk for some law and straightforward. You can read him like one kind level school you may go along, university, grassroots university or one up you come along. But you know that one black or good long and straight for some one black member of the parliament who sat a member of long provincial assembly and by candidate to this seat. Even vacant because say JME losing maybe any work long and stuff long and vacant. So anytime now long government, national government long and so overseeing process long putting back on the governor. Na biang probably while on provincial government can operate also on the government. We must also kisim sabe too also decentralization process triple level government. National government, provincial government, and local level government. Now you must clear too also after all that all law you may be in, you may interpret in, you may try to go ikap. Papa is a law in national parliament, the national government. So time you may exhausting all get the law, he start long ground we meet to play and read, na try and interpret him. I read long and pamikla. Rani go back long Papa usat me create me to national government. Now power vested long minister long intergovernment relations. And this man way last man no start long guiding the animal principles of this law. So when we exhausted all processes, all interpretations that we had on the ground, we went back to the national government seeking advice on what else to do. And that was the decision of the national government on the minister. Powers vested on the minister for intergovernmental relations. And we give him power now long clock long running meeting na preside over the election of the governor now I'm senior minister. So me like appeal to all the New Islanders law here. Enough now long you go interpreting Ken law. Na task now you must make it now. Engaging me one time government stop finish. Engaging me one time leader and stop finish. Now you may find him way by improving living standards, lifestyle, rather than wasting time and talk behind more low and some lumito plateau. You know that idea long, you know that plenty sour long. Long this is a process, all get a law, lawyer long, national government, legal team long, department, law institution of government sa tiko pass long, legal standings of government, attorney general. O kata manually interpreting law now come now. Now you may suppose to hurry more is like interpretation again. But we decided to take 3 days long adjourning meeting beyond prematurely adjourning came number 3 times and then we saved New Ireland through the governor and Young Stucky by asking them give us one more chance before you shut him down from New Ireland provincial government and using administrator running. Give me one more chance na me appoint him clerk of assembly to preside over the election. Time we preside finish, governor I go on top and we take him see him come down signing oath declaration of office. Now we go back now. Now we kiss him this walk and we come down. So I'd like to again urge all New Islanders long losing politics to politicians and let's engage our government and be part and participate with the government long not plamos but tayo start na yari ka. Lo yumi can looking good love long yumi long niwala. There are plenty of demanding things in this stuff. Nothing any time now lo yumi walk behind this long. Oh, so I'm this last pla ting migat mo. Minawag mo tok lo kono but to urge Niwalanders na troop of Papua New Guinea and Niwalanders and my people of KVN, the 26,000 people that I represent, I made a conscience move to support the governor because I knew the law will prevail. We're not making the self-interest. We're going to make him the self-interest. We stood by him because that's the law. Na making the governor come up. We talk thank you to Sol also, leader also can descend from the highest level and come down to the narca level. Driving the law forward. I'd like to thank those who contributed, participated in lobbying and come up on this look way in installing government layer. And I believe we've satisfied the national government in its understanding to have Niwalan provincial government operate as a government. Thank you.